Section 3, Video 4. So let's apply some of the knowledge we just learned. So first of all, identifying properties here, or labels and vocab words. Identify each special segment and what you know about that information. The first one looks like we have a segment connecting a vertex to the opposite side and creating a right angle. So this would be considered an altitude. And the property that we know from that is that there's a right angle present, but that's already drawn. Now the second one here looks interesting. It bisects a side because we have tick marks here. We have a right angle, so it's perpendicular, and it seems to come from nowhere, not a vertex. So that was the perpendicular bisector. Here we also have a side being bisected, but it does come from a vertex. It does come from somewhere. So this was a segment bisector, but no right angle present. And here now we have an angle that has two arcs that are identical, so that angle must have been bisected by segment AD. So this is an angle bisector. All right, so let's apply some more of these properties. Here we're given this shape. If we look at the information, we have side BA that seems to be cut in half because we have two equal segments, and AC has 9 and 9, so that must have been cut in half. And we have this segment joining those two, what seems to be midpoints P and Q. So what does that mean? Well, we must be given, this must be a segment, a mid-segment. The properties of those mid-segments, we said, was that it was parallel to the side it does not touch, but it was also half as big as the third side, or the opposite side that does not touch. So that means that X and 6 have this relationship, that PQ is half as big as BC. So we would just be able to say that X must be 3. Another way to look at it is that when we drew the picture earlier, we said that if the midpoint was considered X length, then the other side would be twice as big. So you could also do that this way and say that 2X is the side 6 on the picture to solve that for X. And you get the same answer. So in this next example, we have again what seems to be a mid-segment because the tick marks tell us it's bisected on both sides, so you must be connecting two midpoints. So what does that mean? Well, again, we know that the mid-segment, n plus 14, and the side it does not connect to or intersect with is 3n plus 12, but we know that they're not equal. One is half as big as the other, so one way to make them equal is to double the smaller side. So in other words, we are making that twice as big, which should equal that other side. So we are doubling the smaller side. And then from there you have a couple of choices. You could distribute or divide by 2, that's up to you. So I'm going to go through this quickly because I know we can do the algebra. So I distribute the 2. Now if I combine like terms, if I move the 2n to the right side by subtraction, I get n. If I move the 12 to the left side by subtraction, I get 16. That's one way to do it. So n is 16. And this ends section 3, video 4.